One. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Yes. We are Lotus Flower Wellness Temple. Let me flip this camera around here. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so why can't I see myself? Amy, right? Oh no, I did the wrong type of live. Let me end it. Give us just a minute, y'all. Hang tight. We got a little technical issues, but we are going to fix it up right quick, and we'll be right back on it.
Yeah, sorry everybody. We're trying to stream on a couple platforms at once, so for the first time, so we're trying to get that sorted.
He's still trying to take me to the game. Okay, so for some reason it won't let me do this. I don't know why. Studio. Okay, I might have to cancel the event. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to skip that. I really wanted to do this, but we're going to just go live on Facebook. And I'll set that one up.
All right. Yep.
Oh wait, one way we're in and one way we're out.
Yes, that's why.
Okay, that should be all right. Right there. Yes, perfect. All right, namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Yes, welcome to Lotus Flower Wellness Temple. Let me get back to my notes here. We had a little technical difficulties, and it looks like we still are a little bit. That's all right. All right, so we are on our Emotional Alchemy series, week 4. The stories we attach to our feelings is what we're talking about today. Separate emotions from can you say that for me, please?
Okay. Separating emotions from interpretation.
Thank you. This is a powerful bridge week for us because many people believe that your emotions and reaching to your emotions like you're actually playing a storyline in it, and we start telling the storyline behind it. And there's another way to do it and we're going to talk about that today, something that's more powerful for you, something that is going to actually help transform your power within your emotions. So welcome, beautiful souls. Everybody just take a breath with us today. Whether you're joining us in temple or you're joining us at home on our live, we love you. You are welcome here just as you are. We are a community that grows together, supports each other in our walk. So, and that includes you as well. So as we take that breath, just feel your body, just arrive in the now, be here present with us. I'm Erin.
I'm Quinn.
And we are Lotus Flower Wellness Temple. We're all about harmony for humanity, connecting back our Humpty Dumpty, and then also connecting back to all other oneness. So thank you for all of you for being here. So let's go ahead and get right into the opening chant. If you will go ahead and lead us.
All right. Om Shanti. Om Guys, with me. Om Shanti. Om.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Shanti.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome, Heather.
Right. And in this moment, just say this affirmation with me. I allow myself to feel without judgment.
Allow myself to feel without judgment. Say it at home. I allow myself to feel without judgment.
All right. And we'll get started on the lesson for today.
All right. Thank you, Gwen. So I want you to think about the last time you felt hurt. Just take a second. Put yourself in that moment. Just think about the last time that you felt hurt. Not the event necessarily, but the feeling itself. Maybe someone didn't call when they said they would. Maybe someone said something to you that you didn't like. Push the button, maybe. Maybe something didn't go the way that you had hoped. The feeling arises. The mind begins to tell a story. They don't care about me. I'm being rejected. I'm failing. But let's slow this down for a minute. Hit the brakes. Tap the brakes. The feeling might be sadness. The story is rejection, though, is what you're telling yourself. The feeling might be disappointment, but the story becomes failure. The feeling is real. We're not taking anything away from that. The feeling is real. The story is interpretation. Most people blend the two together. They don't realize they're separate. The two are separate. And because they don't separate them, they suffer twice. Both ends. Get that suffering on both ends. So once from the emotion and again from the story. And actually it's more than twice because as you retell that story, it's continual suffering. So just think about that. Everybody just think about how powerful that awareness is. The emotion itself often moves through quickly when it is allowed, but the story can replay for weeks, months, years, lifetimes. So today we're not trying to get rid of the feelings. We are not trying to shove them down, push them away, run away from them. We're not trying to do that. Understand this. We are becoming curious about the meaning that we attach to them. Because many of those meanings are created years ago, and they may not any longer be true for us. So hold space for that. Maybe that story is outdated. Maybe that storyline that you've attached to some of those emotions that you're still feeling, still telling yourself that story, maybe it's outdated.
Yes, and from a nervous system perspective, stories help us make sense of uncertainty. The brain wants answers fast. So when emotion shows up, the brain fills in the blanks. It creates explanations, sometimes helpful, sometimes not. The challenge is that the brain often uses old information, past experiences, old wounds, previous disappointments. And when you have no real space of reference, sometimes it even uses fiction. So when something happens today, the brain reaches backwards and creates a familiar story. Not necessarily an accurate one, and not even necessarily one that happened to you, but a familiar one. This is why awareness matters, because awareness allows you to ask, what am I actually feeling? And separately, what story am I telling myself about this? Those are different questions, and more often you separate them. Or the more often you separate them, the more freedom you create. Because then you can respond to reality instead of reacting to assumptions. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started on our breath work for today. So what we do here, we call the infinity breath. Those who have been to a lot of our lives know it takes the form of a figure 8. And the bottom loop, we start by breathing out all those pent-up negative emotions, feelings that we've had, everything that's kind of congealed throughout the week, throughout the month. And then we hold in our center. And then for that top loop, we breathe in all that bright, beautiful creator light. And then we hold once more in our center. We breathe out again. This time circulating that energy throughout our being. And you can go at your own pace, whatever is comfortable to you. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And as you inhale, think, I feel. As you exhale, think, I release the story. Again, I feel, I release the story. I feel, I release the story. I feel, I release the story. And as you do this, just allow your body to soften. And Aaron will lead us in our meditation for the day. And if you want to get started,
So bring to mind a recent emotional experience. Notice the feeling within you. Where do you feel it in your body? Bring that intelligence, that awareness of your body. Notice the feeling in your body. And just stay there. Now gently ask, what story have I attached to this feeling? What story have I attached to this story, this feeling? What is the common factor here? What am I telling myself? Don't force the answer. Just simply notice. Now imagine placing the story beside you. Skip the whole storyline and just place it beside you. Not removing it. Just setting it down. And now return to the feeling itself. Notice how different it feels. Breathe. Observe. Just allow. Allow. Stay present with it. Stay present. Is there anything this feeling is trying to share with me? Any button or root that is exposing for me to see? As I become aware of that button, that root, therefore I become aware of all other weeds that are popping out of the same essence within my garden. Awareness is key to cleaning that up and owning your own energy. So hold space for that truth, y'all. When you're ready, you can start to begin to open your eyes and just bring back this harmony, feeling, this clarity with you, and open your eyes and join us back in this room. All right, McGilly.
Miguel, if you want to come up?
Would you like to come on up?
Feeling is information. The story is interpretation. When you learn the difference, you will claim your power. Awareness creates choice. Choice creates freedom.
Thank you so much, Miguel.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our group game.
Yes, we are.
Let's go ahead and get started with that.
Ryder, would you like to join us? Come on, buddy. You'd like to join us. All right.
All right.
Let's see if we can get everybody in here. If we skip back, I think it's best. We'll get more of it. Here, come right here. And then Miguel, you here. Okay, you're good today? All right, let's see if we got everybody in there. Okay, I'll scoot in a little, Ryder. Scooch. There you go. All right, right there. I can move this. Here. There you go. All right. There you go. Ready? Okay, I'll stay here. And you sit there. Perfect.
All right.
All right. Now we're good to go, y'all. Welcome to our group game. Ryder, are you happy to be doing this with us? Awesome. All right. So this is all about awareness. If you stay on this one, then you'll be in the camera. If you move to that one, they won't be able to see you. Just letting you know. Okay. A feeling I experience often is, would you like to try it? What's a feeling you experience often? You get happy, or what do you tell me? There's a lot of feelings. Say again?
Meditation.
Oh, you would like to do meditation to help your,
Meditation.
you want to tell people how you calm down and regulate whenever you get upset? Your breathing? You want to show everybody? Awesome. Great. Thank you for sharing, Ryder. Yay. All right. So a feeling I experience often is, would you like to answer that, Quinn?
I would say for me, feeling that I often experience, and I suppose in like connection with this, more of a feeling that comes attached to stories and to more negative emotions is, I think it's something akin to a dread or like a worry almost. Like it's something that a lot of times I have to deal with. You know, I listen to other people's problems, whether it's people in my family or friends that I've had, and there are times with some of them when I feel like, you know, what will this mean for me going forward, what they're going through, or what will this mean, you know, how will this change things? You know, how will this, you know, I sort of mentally, I create this story of what's going on and, you know, how I'll be affected by all of this. And it's like it is a form of self-preservation in some ways. Because I think the reason why we tend to create these stories in our brain is more to protect us from what might be coming.
Miguel, can you help me with him, please? The Ryder? What is that back there? Is what?
The wind outside.
That's the wind? I thought that was Ryder banging on something. Okay. Thank you. Wow, the wind is just having a field day out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was you. I thought you were trying to get something and you couldn't
No,
get it.
no, it's just spinning.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing that for certain. Yeah, a story that people attach to an emotion or whatever, it is important to, just for starters, just be aware, analyze what the heck you're doing to yourself, because first and foremost, that storyline could very well be outdated, and it most likely is not serving you very well if you're finding struggles and you're having to redirect anyway.
Right.
So with that being said, just this time to be aware that we have been telling stories to ourselves and they're not all true. And so it's time to check yourself. You just check yourself, check the storylines you've been saying to yourself. Of course, we don't think we would purposely try to do anything to hinder or stunt our own growth and potential, but unfortunately, that's not quite the truth because we do it consistently until we learn how to stop doing it. That's the power. That's taking your power back, as simply as I can say. And that's what we do here is we hope to bring about within real conversation, real situation, these opportunities, these moments of growth, how to see them, how to, not just hear and memorize something, but apply it into your life.
Right.
So that you can have lasting change and transformation. And so that we finally can stop being insane on this planet.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? We got to do something different to get that result. So happy to say I'm putting in my work not to be insane anymore, right? Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yay, by definition. All right, so I see you becoming aware of your truths, Quinn, and I see you not only becoming aware of them in such a strong way, but seeing them from different perspectives through others' eyes as well. And that that's a whole nother level of growth, right? It's one thing to see yourself and start to be aware of yourself. which we'll always continually be doing. But then to also be able to have that compassion that grows within you, that you're able to start to see things from others' perspective too. That makes you, every time you do it, that many times smarter, right? That many times wiser. You have this whole other idea of how those things can work.
I think, for me, like, to say on that, also I see you becoming aware of your truth.
Right.
But I would like to speak on it a bit in that I have grown up in a lot of ways seeing myself through the eyes of others. And I know there are a number of people who have, Some people, they grow up seeing others through the eyes of themselves and how they act, and, they're like, oh, they're just like me, when they're sad, it must be because of the same kind of things that make me sad. But then there's other people who grow up and they're like, oh, how do they see me? How am I seen in this? How am I recognized? How is my behavior reflecting upon me based on the way others are looking at me?
Right.
And I think each side is kind of learning the opposite thing as they grow. They have to learn. The person who understands others through themselves has to learn that other people are their own people and that they have different ideas and different ways of coping and being, and different personalities, different ideas of common sense. Whereas the person who learns about themselves through others, who is constantly people-pleasing and trying to act in such a way to be a quote-unquote good person in the eyes of the people around them, they have to learn how to be themselves and how to be okay if other people aren't okay with their behavior.
Right.
Or aren't okay with who they are. And that tends to be more of what I have been learning, how to be okay with who I am, as opposed to trying to align myself with the expectations and the needs and the general, what other people tend to appreciate.
Right, yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, so before we get into the next part of our service, which is going to be our homework and our affirmations for the week, which those help you to stay focused and guided, because the divine is constantly working with you. The unseen is your guide constantly through signs and synchronicities. And the more that you stay focused upon the mindfulness, mind shift, the work that you're doing, the awareness of self, and the transformation and the alchemy of the old ways to the new for your own choice. It's very helpful, this homework. And so keeping that with you, we've got our Sundays, and then we kind of reset for the week. But if this homework and these affirmations really keep you focused day to day, so that you can keep your sharp focus that is less distractible, right? You go a whole week without thinking about it again until next week, then that's what you have. Maybe a couple days that you may stay pretty sharp and focused, and then maybe around Tuesday you may start to fall off a little bit, and then when you get back here on Sunday, you're geared up and ready for the week again, right? So this homework keeps it fresh, keeps your focus sharp, where you are intending, where we're working, as well as where the divine is working with you and with you for your support.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this homework. So for this week, we have, for the daily practice, when an emotion arises, ask yourself, 1, what am I feeling? And 2, what story am I attaching to it? So, particularly if you feel something strong during any day this coming week, ask yourself, what is it that I am feeling? And what story am I attaching to it? And go ahead and write down one example of this each day that comes to you.
Perfect. Yes. Now, affirmation practice. So share one discovery. Oh, I'm sorry, affiliation practice.
Yes.
Share one discovery from this exercise with someone in the temple community. All right, so it doesn't necessarily have to be someone in the temple community, more so someone that kind of understands what the heck you're talking about, right? It's more so. So if you don't have a friend like that, the more that you practice, the more that you get yourself in alignment with the things that we're talking about, you're going to magnetize them to you. If you don't currently have one, just open your field of receptivity to that, because it's common.
And I think a big part of that is understanding if you are in a position where you don't have a lot of people in your life, or maybe you've lost a lot of people, maybe you don't feel like you're going to have a lot of people anymore, or like you deserve it, you need to change that mindset first. You need to start believing that you do deserve it. You can have these people in your life, and they are looking for you.
All right, so now an anchor statement. This is going to be it's kind of like your affirmation that you're going to anchor yourself whenever you may feel that wind blowing on you and these things you're going to get hit. I honor my feelings without becoming my story. Sink that in.
I honor
my feelings without becoming my stories. Yes, let that. I mean, everybody knows what the feeling of resonation inside of you feels like, right? Everybody knows. You might not know when it's a no always. You might have to whatever. But when you have that feeling of yes inside of you, you absolutely know it, right? When something resonates with you. And so just let that land for a minute. I honor my feelings without becoming my stories, right? So maybe you're not doing it yet, but think of yourself, with a little bit of effort and practice, rewriting this habitual wheel that we live in, this cycle. So as you do the work to break those cycles and stuff, then you're more doing it this way more than that way. And then from that point, right, then you can begin to see yourself, like visualize yourself being there instead of here. Eventually the work part is going to be, you've done it, right? I'm not asking you to, carry two truckfuls of coal on your back, right? It's something that you're doing for yourself, and you are worth it. Right. So invest the time, invest the energy, because if not, you're still investing the time and the energy into somebody else's plan to do it the way that you prefer.
Right. All right. With that, for those of you who are just joining for our temple service, thank you. We hope that you leave a like, a subscribe. We really appreciate that, and it helps the channel. It helps us reach more people. Namaste and Satnam to you all. But if you're coming to join us for the podcast after, we're going to go ahead and get set up. And give us just a moment, and we'll get started.
Namaste. Y'all hang out for a little bit and we'll do the podcast together. So let's just split the chairs out.
All right. Again? Yeah.
All right. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Welcome to Lotus Flower Wellness Temple Podcast, Harmony for Humanity. I'm Erin.
I'm Quinn.
And we are going to get right into it. So we have been, you want to share with them about what our topic was today in temple service?
Yes. So our topic for today was the stories we attach to our feelings.
Yes, it was quite interesting because a lot of times people do somewhat start to kind of think that that's the same thing, right? The story and the feeling, it's just all one thing. So we have broken that down today. We're not going to go all the way back through temple service a little bit, but I did want to lay it out for you. Those of you at home, if you haven't subscribed yet, like, share, comment, all that good stuff, please do so. And we'd love to see you again. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. So what emotions do you experience most often, Quinn, that is a feeling that you can use as kind of a pinpoint of what we're discussing here today? What is that emotion for you?
Right. So something that I could use, it's good to pinpoint that, is a lot of times when I get calls to talk about something that's going on in someone else's life, like a friend or my mom or somebody, like I get this kind of, like either with my mom, it's sort of this dread of just like, oh, she's going to be upset for like the rest of the day about this one thing that, it's not necessarily like major, or maybe it is. And if it is, then even more so. Like it's going to be something that's upsetting her for a while, and it's something that I'm going to have to deal with and to be with her through, and that can feel. I think there's a feeling of weight there, to carrying something else that somebody else is carrying.
Yeah.
And then, there's a dread, especially when you have people in your life who will often tell you stories about what is going wrong in your life.
Yeah.
And you hear from them again, and you just know that they're going to tell you a story about their life and how it's not getting better, and how it's getting worse, and how what should I do? What am I not doing right? How am I being karmically punished? What is wrong with my life that this would happen to me, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's almost like a story that presupposes even the conversation to an extent. That, like, the fact that I'm hearing from this person, it means that this conversation is about to get done. For them. They're about to go into some kind of a darkness that they are going through that is making them doubt everything, all over again.
Does have a weight to it, right? And you almost can anticipate that as well, right? Because it's the same old. So what advice would you give to the specific people if they would listen to you? And you could truly be heard. What is the simplest way that you could say it to them about dropping the story? What it's doing?
I think, and I know personally that with myself, I can be a bit hardy on a few things. I can push through a lot of these negative situations, and I can kind of internalize that on the other side, there is a brighter story to be told. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not the end of the world. But things will get better in time, especially if you let yourself feel that way. Let yourself have hope. Let yourself believe that things can get better. Though a lot of times it's hard for them where they they are to have hope that things can get better.
Yeah.
Especially when a lot of things are getting bad. You know, like consecutively or in a row, or something super important to them has gone bad. You know? So, like, it feels to them like, oh, like I've just gotten hit by this awful thing. How could you speak about things getting better?
Yeah.
Like that itself feels to them like an insensitive thing. The idea that things could get better. But if I could communicate anything to them, it would be that this is not the end of the world. This is not as like this is not the stories you are attaching to it. Because many times they have their own stories attached to these things. And so they tell themselves, oh, this is going to go just like the last.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to.
That just segued me in my question. Next question is perfect.
Yeah, this
just
is
like the last time.
This is exactly how it's going to go. I know I am not going to be able to handle it. You know, that's the biggest thing, I think.
Well, the next question was, what would life look like with fewer assumptions?
Right. I think with fewer assumptions, let's say if we only dropped one assumption from the world, you know, like if we could drop it from everybody, I think if we only drop the assumption that I will not be able to handle what comes next, you know, or I will not be able to handle X, you know, if we drop that, I think a lot of people would be able to get through a lot more. I think that hard to say on YouTube or whatever, but like the death rates would go down significantly, if only because people could believe that they could make it through the next stage.
Yeah.
That, you know, it wasn't necessarily going to get worse from here.
Well, they do teach placebo effect, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at it a little bit deeper, right, so basically what they're saying is that whatever you believe is going to be more likely your outcome, right? And no matter what's in that medicine, if you believe it's going to help you, the chances of it helping you are much better, even if it had the real medicine and you didn't believe it.
Right. Because,
and that's proven scientifically.
If nothing else, like, you can believe it's going to get worse, you can believe it's going to get better, but if you believe that you can't handle what will happen next, then that's a belief of your own personal capabilities. That's something you convince yourself of.
Yeah.
And that's something that you do bring upon yourself. Because if you believe that you are on your last rope, if you believe that you are going to not be able to handle anything else, that the world has piled too much on you and it's done. It's you know, you are like, it's going to continue this way and you're not going to be able to handle what's next.
Right.
Like, then, yeah, you won't.
Yeah, we got this. So that's the thing. So that is a good one to throw out. If we could throw out one assumption, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And that would be nice. So yeah, let's everybody just consider: would you be willing to throw out the assumption right now in this moment that you can't handle what's next? Because enough has shown you, experience-wise, that you can.
Yeah.
So the evidence is pointing to that you're not correct when you say that. Mm-hmm. So let's all do it. Who's down? Who's down? Let's throw that assumption out right now.
Right.
You can handle what's next. Might not be ideal. Might not be very pleasant. You might even have a lot of struggle with it. But you can handle it. All right. So with that being said, I want to ask an integration question. for you.
All right.
Have you been seeing any growth since the beginning of this series that we've been talking about, this emotional alchemy?
I've been seeing continual growth in various different ways. Learning to release guilt and release, feelings of not deserving more. Learning to just learning how to handle my emotions better and how to feel my emotions in a better way, rather than closing them off, rather than being cold or being being just sort of frozen in some ways, or viewing my emotions as the enemy at times. And particularly because of stories in some situations, because of it's not the emotion, it's the story attached to the emotion that I am growing tired of, It's all the things that I'm attaching to the situation, all the ways that I think of things that I cannot see, happening in the background. And I speculate as to, oh, well, it might be this way. Oh, well, it might be that way. Oh, this person might think this, and it creates this false reality, even if it's only a possibility, inside of me that just unsettles me more.
Yeah.
And it goes back to this thing that I've heard before on a podcast called Science and Spirituality, where when we continue a certain pattern of thought, even if it's a negative pattern of thought, it becomes something that our brain makes easier for us to do, because it notices us continually doing this. And it also sort of becomes an addiction to an extent, because it creates those chemicals in our brain related to these sad thoughts and these sad feelings and these extreme negative emotions and these stories. Our brain becomes used to, oh yeah, once a week, or maybe a few times a week, or maybe once a day even, if you're really depressed. I am constantly telling myself at least one negative story that is going to make me feel very bad, and that is creating these chemicals in my brain that my brain's become accustomed to having. And so, when you start to change the way that you think, you go through almost a bit of withdrawals. You feel suddenly, at times, that your thoughts are tugged in that direction. Where before you were just minding your business, and then out of the blue, suddenly, why am I thinking about this sad other thing that I wasn't even bothering with?
Well, many times this week it seems like it's come up for me, talking to other people or whatnot, about emotions and how we're taught to go with the emotion and almost become, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, I believe that this emotion is trying to tell you something. It's a guide, and it's trying to show you something. And instead of flowing with that emotion and going with it, being aware of it, and then seeing what it's trying to show you, finding that button that it's pushing, and exploring around it, because this might not be the person that pushed the button. It may just be that button got pushed, and that person's actually doing you a favor because now you have an opportunity to heal this
Right.
and see the root of it. You might not be able to see that root and how it attaches to so many other weeds in your garden. But being aware of that in the moment, if you do something with it in that moment, you could literally free yourself from so many weeds in that garden. So it's a very powerful moment.
Even speaking about the terminology, I'm depressed, I'm upset, I'm, saying that you are that.
Yeah,
like it's the same way that we say, I'm a dentist, I'm a good person, I'm this, I'm that. You shouldn't describe yourself as the emotion. You can say, I feel this way, but if you describe yourself as it, I think it kind of communicates to the brain and even just, to the universe as a whole, to quantum physical reality, that this is what I am. This is all that I am. This is everything that I am. At least in this moment, this is everything that I am. And to be only depressed, to be only angry, to be only frustrated, it's something that I feel like is very taxing on a person. Something that, our emotional health, our spiritual health, all of this, it contributes to our physical health. I would say that there are times when we or when we're more susceptible to diseases, to psychological illnesses, to to more serious issues because of how we handle our emotional health, how we handle our spiritual health, or the fact that we don't handle it.
Yeah.
That we just kind of let it be what it is.
Ryder, hang on 1 second. Ryder, come out from underneath the table, please. You're knocking the cameras around.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, just the way that we treat our health in general, it affects different parts of our health,
Yeah.
And that even goes to like the way we treat our physical health. Like sometimes our physical health, that can also impact how we feel emotionally, or how we're doing spiritually. If we're more healthy, we can think more clearly. Sometimes we have a better connection to our intuition. It's all connected.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. So when people say emotional intelligence, it goes a lot further, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is something that people say, oh, you can only do what you can control, and not the other things. Well, that is one form of control that you can have.
Right.
Of something that suffers you so much. When you learn to have, to do what we're discussing right now, it's going to really shift and change your level of harmony within your life. You will be able to choose what storyline you're going to put on to the movement forward within your life. And before it was we were just kind of going with the same old crummy storyline, whatever felt the most victim-like, right? Something that sounds real sad for people when we repeat it, right? I mean, you don't know how many people, like we were saying before, that when there's certain people that I know when they're coming, I'm going to hear the same drama from 20 years ago again, and they're going to be bringing back up their same storyline, and it's just a habitual thing that certain people that's what they have to discuss. They just like to talk about that past drama and that storyline. So it's time to let go of that garbage storyline And if you haven't started making that shift and change, you don't have much to change it to, do you? So you got to start doing different, so that you got a different, more empowered storyline to hold for yourself, which is that you can handle what's coming next. You got this. All right. So in closing, your emotions are not your enemy. They're messengers. And the stories you've attached to them are not necessarily your truth. So stay curious, stay compassionate, stay present, because every time you separate feelings from the story, you come closer to who you really are. And harmony for humanity begins within. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time. And
See you next week.
all of you on Facebook, if you want to go ahead and subscribe to our Inner Circle, our monthly Inner Circle subscription, please help yourself and support our public charity at the same time. Thank you so much. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
See where we are.